Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today we have a very special review of a knife I've had for a little bit. This is the We Praxis. Pretty cool knife. This is the Kaviso collab done by We Knives. It's a pretty good little knife. I do have a lot of positive things to say about this, and I really have enjoyed this knife a lot. Now, I have several other knives made by We that are very similar, and so I believe this is going to be like a catch and release for me. So a great knife, definitely a great knife to add to anybody's collection. I will probably be putting this up for sale. But it is a really good knife. And I have enjoyed having a chance to handle this, I will tell you. So if you haven't had a chance to look at this, I believe they might still have some available at Kaviso. I can't remember if they, when I last checked there were, but I'll have a link for it in the description to the knife. If there's some available, you'll see them there. If not, you know, maybe you could be lucky enough to buy this one for me. So anyways, all right, this is the We Kaviso made by We Knives. It is titanium. It's kind of like an atomic acid wash here on this, which is kind of gives you that McNeese Hinder working finish, McNeese atomic finish kind of look. I like it. Like, it's very unique. If you don't like that finish, obviously this might not be for you, but it is a thinner knife. It's not super thin, but it is definitely a thinner knife. Like if you remember the Makani, that one is really thin, but this one is a little bit thicker, but not much, okay? But it has enough width on there, and it's large enough for good hand grip. So let's talk about the knife. The knife is the Praxis. There is a Civivi version, so a lot of people, when they think Praxis, they immediately think of the Civivi version of the Praxis. This is the We higher end version. Manufacturer is We Knives. The designer is, I didn't look it up before we started. I just assumed it was a We in-house design. So if I know it, it'll be here. And if I didn't find it, then I'm sure somebody will comment below to give me the details. So look in the comments for that. And if you know, please share if I didn't just post it here, right? So anyways, let's talk about the materials. Titanium handles. It is scales. They're titanium. The clip is not a mill clip, but it is titanium as well. So we can confirm that. No, you know, it doesn't, no magnetic there. Now, the pivot is obviously steel pivot. The blade is obviously steel. And then, let's see, the back spacer is titanium as well. So titanium all the way around. You'll see some wonderful, let's see if we can get the light in there. There'll be some good milling, good weight relief on this knife. We'll weigh the knife to show you that, you know, it's got a good weight to it. So that's nice. The lock type, it is a frame lock. It has a steel bar insert with an over travel stop, so you're not going to extend the lock bar really well. It does have this cutout. This is nicely softened, so these aren't super sharp, which is nice. I will tell you that the cutaway is really nice. You get nice access, and you'll see there's a little jimping right there as well as a little texture on that chamfered part. There's chamfering here, so the access is really nice. And the action is really great. Now, I did put skiffs in this knife, so whoever gets this will get it with skiffs, which I think they would enjoy. Makes the knife even better. I mean, did it need skiffs? Probably not. But do skiffs make a difference? I do. I absolutely think so. Beautifully centered. You'll see that as well. All right, so the blade steel is 20 CV blade steel, so this is 20 CV. You can typically see that if we zoom in a little bit right there. There's the zoom, right? 20 CV. So that's the blade steel. It's a full flat grind. Well, not full flat. It's a flat grind. Comes up to a nice wedge, so very nice for cut. It's pretty thin. We'll measure this here in a second. So it's going to be a beautiful slicer. Has a nice edge on there. Big finger choil, which is really great for choking up. You can actually choke up for a pinch grip. I can get my finger up there. I don't do a full flat because I got big meaty fingers, but if you turn it a little bit, you can definitely choke up and you're pretty fine. If you got not as big meaty fingers as me, it'll be really easy for you. All right, how's it open? It's got a beautiful flipper that works really well. Thumb studs work excellent. Reverse flick works excellent. Left-handed flipper works excellent. Just keep your finger off the lock bar. Thumb studs work excellent. And then reverse flick, if you keep your finger up here off the thumb bar, off the lock bar, it's easy to reverse flick. Or if you go real low down here and then down here and kind of do that, you can do that as well. Now, if you got longer fingers, that might be easier to do the clip. I like to go up on top, like right up here, like that, and do the flip. So that works well. It's very fidgety. And guess what? You get middle finger bonus reverse flick because it's got that nice atomic wash, so you get good texture on there. So, and I can even, let's see here. Yeah, I was doing it earlier. So I got to just make sure I get some grip. Well, okay, well, I promise you, I was doing it. Yeah, see, I can do it here. It's just making sure I get low and, well, okay. I haven't carried this knife in a while, and that's one of the reasons why I'm selling it. It's just, it's you know, I have a rule: if I don't carry it and I don't use it, then it's got to be a catch and release. So that's the case for this one. It hasn't been used much. Actually, you can see that there's no snail trails or anything on there. It's in beautiful shape, so really, really fantastic. You know, as far as that goes. All right, so how does it close? Action is beautiful. There's a detent on there, the lock bar. Once you disengage it, let's look at how do you clear, where do you clear the detent? The detent ball is cleared right there. Once you clear that, the action is really nice. So you drop it here with a flipper to your thumb. So you can do this like blindfold, right? Close your eyes, and so it's a nice fidgety knife. You don't have to worry about that. So that's cool. And you don't get the guillotine. You don't get the double clutch issue as long as you drop it like that. That's usually really, really nice. So I like that. The blade, we already talked about, nice flat grind 20 CV, really well sharpened up really nicely. Oh, I still got a little stropping compound on the edge there. You can see that. So yeah, because I like to strop the edge. So it's crazy sharpened. You can definitely shave with it. So you can see I took the hair off my arm. So it'll be nice and sharp. And that's one of the benefits I think about this. So let's do some weights and measurements on this little bad boy. All right, let's weigh this guy. So 3.8 ounces for a relatively not super small knife. That's not bad. 3.8 ounces, I think that's pretty nice. At 3.8 ounces for the length of this knife, and we're going to measure it here in just a second, you'll be pleasantly surprised that milling really does work well. So let's look at the overall length of this. This comes out to about 8 1/3 of an inch. I'm going to say it's definitely over 8 1/4, almost 8 1/2. Right there. The grip area that you're going to have is about 4 inches, just under 4 inches. If you go to the inside, if you go out here a little bit, you get 4 1/4. If you use the finger choil, then you actually get like up to 5 inches of grip, which is nice. The overall blade length from the tip to the back here is 3 3/4. So that's the overall blade length. If you actually talk about the cutting edge is going to be about 3 1/3 of an inch. I would say 3 3/8 probably, maybe a little closer to that, 3 3/8. So that is the overall length of the knife. So for the length of the knife and 3.8 ounces, I mean, the ratios are pretty good. I think you're going to agree with that. So let's go ahead and measure the blade stock thickness. This is where it's really a joy, I think. You're going to come in here and you're going to find that the blade stock thickness is 104, 103.5. Let's go back here. 102 thousandths of an inch, so 0.102 inches. That is super thin, super slicey, super nice. That's something you're going to very much enjoy. All right, so let's talk about the category. This is a regular category. That's my categories are up to $100 as a budget. 100 to 300 is a regular category. This knife, I think it was about 250, 260, somewhere around there. That's what they were selling it for the materials and everything that you get on this thing. I mean, I think it's a reasonable price. Some people are going to agree, some people aren't. They're going to not like the fact it's not a milled clip. It is a deep pocket carry clip. I do like that. Even with that screw, not the way they did this, they were able to get relatively almost perfectly deep pocket carry clip. I do like that. There is a lanyard loop. It's rounded. To me, that's a big win. Giant Mouse, they have their lanyard loops. They're always edgy and they're just sharp. And that's one of the reasons why I don't have any in my collection. A lot of their styles I like, but after a while I get a blister and it's just, man, I just wish they would fix that. So that's one of the reasons why they're just not in my collection. Even though I do like their designs a lot. They're not fidgety and they get uncomfortable. So, you know, when you fidget with your knife a lot, little things like those details really matter. And you'll see this on here. There's a lot of details that really matter on this knife. So this gets into about 250, 260. So this is definitely in the regular range. So it's not a high-end knife. It's not a budget knife. You know, that depends upon, you know, what you think. You know, is it worth it? I think it is. I think it's pretty cool. What's the purpose? This is absolutely EDC, hard use. Yes, the frame lock works really well. It does engage. You can see it's a good engagement up to about, I would say, 50% lock in there. No blade rock, no pivot lash. You know, typically if you put skiffs in, you get rid of any pivot lash because that typically occurs with the ball bearings not being the same diameter all the way around. And then nice clickety detent. Let's listen to that again. Nice clickety, really nice clickety detent actually, matter of fact. It's really crisp. I like that a lot. And there's no detent lash in here. Sorry, my paper blew over with the fan over there. All right, so that is, I would say, EDC hard use collection. Now, is it a collection piece? I think any knife can be a collection piece you choose. I just, for me, any budget knife is not a collection piece. I mean, you can make it a collection piece. You can make any knife you want a collection piece, right? But for me, I don't consider a budget knife a collection piece. I could, a regular knife, high-end custom knives, yeah, they can all be collection pieces for sure. But my collection pieces are knives I use and carry. And so absolutely, this would be, I think, a hard use of every EDC kind of knife. Now, it's hard use as you can with a frame lock, with a thinner blade and, you know, thinner handle. You know, if you're going to go out chopping wood and try to do wood, you know, breaking logs of wood for fire, get a fixed blade or get an axe, right? Use the right tool for the right thing. But this is definitely going to be able to be hard use, you know, boxes, dog food, cat food, mulch, fertilizer, cases of water, Amazon boxes, letters, and all sorts of things. You'll be very, very happy, I think, with this. And I love this kind of acid stone wash thing here that's going on, because you're not going to see any scratches. You're not going to see any use. It's going to look really like new and the same as you use this knife. There's nice jimping up here. The jimping extends almost right to the edge, which is perfect because it's right on that corner where a lot of times people flip off. So I'm not finding myself ever slipping off on that. So that's really nice. So you could actually do the push button. The push button works. You can do the light switch. The light switch works. Both work really well. So I like that. Yeah. So overall design. Let's talk about the overall design. It's nice. It's nice. It's a nice, you know, it has a familiar profile that you're going to look at and you say, I've seen that before. Yeah. You might even say that looks a little bit like a Ferrum Forge. Yeah. I mean, there's some similarities, but very different, right? You're going to see some of that jimping here on top, which is pretty aggressive, but works well. It's not going to, you know, file your hand down if you move across, but if you push down, it'll definitely lock you in. Now, it's a small amount of jimping. It's not a lot, so it's meant to be back here to hold it in place. If you choke up, you know, there's no jimping up here, but that's kind of a more precision cut, I think. The ergos are really nice. There's no sharp edge on top, so that works well. So if you're in a, you know, if you're doing a ferrous rod, you know, I mean, it's edgy enough. I think you can do the ferrous rod, but it's not edgy enough where you feel like you're going to be, you know, scraping your nails. It's not scraping my nails off, right? Everything is rounded, nice and rounded. I mean, there's chamfering here, which gives it a pseudo, it's like a pseudo contour. So what they did is this really wide angle chamfering, and it's flat here and chamfered here. So it almost has a contoured shape, which is nice. You feel it, you definitely feel that, and it's nice in the hand. But everything is rounded around the edges, nice little touches. Rounded back here with a clip. There's even chamfering on those edges, nothing sharp, which I think is great. The clip is outstanding, nothing sharp, it's no hot spots. When you deploy it up here, there's no sharp edges, which sometimes gets missed, and that's really cool. So you don't have to worry about cutting yourself up here. That's really nice. Rounded all the way around here, rounded here, so it's comfortable. It's comfortable in hand. You know, if you use a long time, you're not going to worry about it cutting into your hand. I mean, you know, when you get blisters, well, I mean, it depends on how you use the knife, and if you've used it a long time, you'll probably get calluses, but you're not going to worry that this is going to cut into your hand right away. So I like that. It's very comfortable. Very, very, very comfortable. If I didn't have so many other knives, I would be carrying this a whole lot more. I really would. I like a lot of things about it. It's just, I've got too many other knives I'm carrying, so I don't carry this, right? This would have been one of those knives that would have been cool to borrow for a review, because I just, you know, I like it. I like it, but I got a lot of the nice wee knives that I really like too. So yeah, there you go. All right, opening and closing is absolutely a dream. It's nice and crisp. You can fail to detent, right? I tuned this so it'd be nice and crisp, and I like to have a controlled drop shut. I tuned it so that would occur, right? It's, yeah, a slight shake drop shut, but it gets there. If you carry it for a little bit, it starts to kind of drop nicely. It's not a real, you know, super shake drop shut. It's not a guillotine. I like that. Sometimes that means the detent's a little lighter, but if you want to be able to barely flick it and always make sure it you know, it deploys, it actuates, you might tighten up the detent, right? But for me, the way I flick a knife, the way you push button it, it's gonna deploy. It's very crisp, it's very nice. And then the thumb studs, if it's too tight, sometimes the thumb studs can get uncomfortable. And so for me, the thumb studs work really beautifully. And then I like the bonus middle finger reverse flick. And so if it's super strong detent, that kind of gets out of the equation, right? And so to me, it's always nice to have that bonus multiple reverse kind of sort of things that you can do with it. And I keep forgetting that I somehow can't do I was doing it, man. I swear to you, I had this down where I could deploy this earlier, and I don't know why I haven't carried it in a while, so I feel like an idiot. Now you feel like you're probably like, yeah, sure, whatever, you're lying. I promise you, I was, but It's nice. It's nice. I mean, it may not. You may not want to reverse flick it left-handed because left-handed, you've got the thumb studs that work really well, right? Both reverse flick and front flip, and then you got that, right? So it is right-hand tip-up only, by the way. So if lefties, this would be probably a rear left-handed pocket carry, just so you know. But fidget factor. All right. So fidget factor. We've got thumb studs. We've got a flipper, and then we have bonus flick, right? Sorry, we have bonus flick. All those work really well. Now, left hand, I don't get it's a little more challenging. You saw that. And then you've got to be careful about putting a little pressure on the lock bar, which is pretty typical. I mean, but some people are able to get that where you can still put your hand anywhere and do the reverse flick, right? So I can pretty much get there, but if I put any undue pressure on there, it does kind of cause some issues, right? So just so you know, that's, you know, for better, for worse, right? So I'm going to go ahead and give this on a fidget factor scale of 7. I give it a 7, almost an 8. If I could have done the left and a little easier, it wasn't a little tricky, and that typically happens because you have a very long lock bar. If that was a little thinner, I think it might be a little bit better, right? You know, but I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. But as far as the 7 out of 10, what you can deploy and what you can use, I got to tell you, it's solid. It's really solid. The only issue I have is up here with the reverse thumb stud, you know, but if you learn how to keep your thumb up high, it works really well. So I got to give this a 95, a solid A. It's not 100 just because of that little thing. I got to be fair, you know, I take a little off for that, but it's a solid A. This is a really nice fidget factor fun knife. It really is. It's thin. It's great for EDC if you're looking for something not super bulky, a little light, maybe put in your gym shorts. You like this size knife, this is going to work really well for you. So I think you would really like this. So is it recommended? Absolutely recommended. 100% recommended. I love this knife. I really think it's a great design. It does have some, you know, hints of Fair and Forge and some other designers in there, but it's not a copy by any stretch of imagination. But I like it. I like the drop point blade. I like the big belly. I like the flat grind. Everything about this knife is really nice. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. We'll do a nice close up here so you can see it, see what you think. What do you think of that, huh? That's pretty nice, right? And then let's take a look at the back here. There you go. All right, let's do a little zoom in. We'll zoom in on the blade. Here's the blade, nice flat grind with the swedge. Here's the scale with the nice lanyard loop back there. It is part of the back spacer, as you can see, and nice and rounded. I like that. Here's the clip, which is nice. The lock bar, this is not super sharp. That's nice. They did take off the edge on there. That's really nice. You can see all the roundedness all the way around. And then you can see the chamfering that goes into the lock bar. That's really nice. All right, so let's look at the back of the blade here as well. Really nice. Then you can see the jimping. Let's look at that. The jimping on the flipper. It does extend right out to the very edge, which is really where typically your finger flies right off. So I really like that. It's really nice. I think that's really a great touch. All right, so there you go. This is the We Knives Praxis. It's actually a Kaviso We Knives collab, and it's called a Praxis. This is the high end, the We version of the Praxis. There's a Civivi version, that's a budget one. And you may like that if you like the Civivi one. That, you know, that's a nice budget version of this. But I like this. This definitely has some nice touches to it. So, yeah, there you go. That is the We Kaviso Praxis, in titanium and 20 CV blade steel. Really cool. Hey, if you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, or informative, would you please consider hitting the like button down below? If you've already hit that like button, would you also consider hitting the subscribe button? Subscribing and liking the videos really helps out the channel, allows the channel to produce more content, do more things, ultimately do more things for you guys. So thank you. Thank you to everyone who watches the videos, who likes the videos, who enjoys the content, part of the live streams. I sure appreciate you guys. Thank you. If you haven't already, hit that notification button down below so you can be notified of future content. And also a big thank you to the channel members out there. I sure do appreciate you guys. You allow the channel to do more things more quickly than we could. You know, it would take much longer time to do. So thank you for that. I appreciate your support. It means the world to me. And as a small way for me to say thank you, I do a once a month channel members giveaway. Usually it's a very nice knife because the memberships have been so generous. So I want to make sure that I give back to you guys as you so generously give to the channel. So if that's interesting to you and you want to become a channel member, there's a link down in the description. I have 3 different tiers, low, medium, and high end, at least for my channel. So if you're interested in that and you want to support the channel, I would be honored. Absolutely honored. But please don't ever feel obligated. I appreciate you just watching the videos, being a subscriber, being part of the live stream. I enjoy every bit of that. But also, if you become a brand new channel member, also know that I'd like to send you a channel sticker. Email me with your name and address. If you've been a channel member for a while and you never emailed me and you're a channel member right now, email me as well. I would love to send you a sticker with your name and address. So yeah, that's another way for me to say thank you. And also, if you haven't checked me out on Instagram, do check me out over there on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching today. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.